Today, we're going to dive into a massive $17 billion deal that really pulls back the curtain on a hidden crisis in the whole AI revolution. It's a story about a tech giant hitting a wall and the rise of a totally new kind of power player. So, when you think about the biggest challenge for AI leaders like OpenAI or even Microsoft, what comes to mind? Is it, building smarter algorithms? Or maybe finding enough data to train them? The insane competition?
Well, it turns out the most critical bottleneck right now isn't the software at all. It's the raw, brute force computing power you need to run these things. The entire industry is scrambling for more of it, and, well, there just isn't enough to go around.
And this scarcity, it's causing some huge problems, even for the biggest players on the planet. Which brings us to a certain giant that's having a pretty serious capacity problem.
And look, this isn't just speculation. This is a direct quote from Microsoft's own CFO, Amy Hood. She told investors straight up that they're capacity constrained. For a company the size of Microsoft to admit it's running out of the very power it needs to meet demand, that is a stunning admission.
And you gotta understand, this isn't just a Microsoft thing. It's a symptom of an industry-wide fever. The demand for AI computing has just exploded so fast that even the cloud hyperscalers, the giants like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft that we all thought had infinite resources, even they are struggling to keep up. So, this whole capacity crunch, it sets the stage perfectly for one of the biggest and, frankly, most telling deals of the year, what I'm calling the $17 billion handshake. Before we get into the who and the what, just look at that number, $17.4 billion. Let that sink in. A commitment like that is monumental, and it just screams how critical this power shortage has become. So what is this deal exactly? Well, Microsoft is basically leasing AI computing power from a smaller, more specialized company called Nebius. They've committed to paying almost $17.5 billion over 5 years just for dedicated access to GPU infrastructure. And that number could even go up to almost $20 billion. Now, a deal this big doesn't just happen quietly. The second it was announced, it sent some serious shockwaves through the financial markets. So how did investors react? The market's reaction pretty much tells the whole story. Microsoft stock barely moved. For them, this is just the cost of doing business. But Nebius, oh man, their shares shot up as much as 68%. The message was loud and clear. In this new AI race, the company providing the power holds all the power. But this deal isn't just about two companies. It's really signaling the emergence of a whole new and super critical category of player in the AI world. We're talking about the rise of the NeoClouds. So what the heck is a NeoCloud? Okay, think of them like specialist workshops in a world of giant mega factories. While the big guys like Amazon and Microsoft offer a huge menu of cloud services, NeoClouds do one thing and one thing only. They provide the elite, high-performance computing that AI developers are absolutely desperate for. And Nebius is a perfect example of this new breed. They're an Amsterdam-based specialist that actually spun out of assets from the Russian tech group Yandex. But they are backed by heavyweights like NVIDIA and Excel, and they already serve other major AI players like France's Mistral. These guys are serious, they're focused, and they are perfectly positioned for this moment. And trust me, they know it. The company's CEO, Arkady Volozh, made it clear that while the Microsoft money is obviously great, the real value of this deal is that it puts them on the map. It's a launchpad to accelerate their growth and become an absolutely indispensable part of the AI supply chain. Okay, so a giant company had a problem, and a smaller company had the solution. But let's zoom out for a second and ask the big question. What does this $17 billion deal really mean for the future of AI? The best way to understand this is that classic gold rush analogy. For years, all the attention has been on the AI gold prospectors, the companies like OpenAI that are building these amazing models. But this deal shows that the real, durable value might just be with the companies selling the picks and shovels, the raw computing power that makes it all possible in the first place. Which leaves us with a fundamental question for the next decade of technology. As compute becomes the most valuable resource out there, who's actually going to win the AI race in the long run? Will it be the brilliant minds building the models, or the quiet giants who own all the power? Now that is the $17 billion question.